Oui. As of now, or for
No,
over the years?
no.
I yes, I am aware that it's very popular in France because you come over at the Xena convention in Los Angeles, and there's always a very large group that are very festive people. It's fun. I think it was the third season. You can correct me if I'm wrong. When Gabrielle starts to look at a different way
Yes.
of life, she's looking for the way of peace. And I think by venturing off in her own direction with her own opinions and her own insights, then she's led into becoming more of her own person.
Okay.
Did I get that right? Yes, I think that's
Yes.
correct.
It's fine.
Um, I matured with Gabrielle in very specific ways. I became more formidable as a person. Before, I was much more soft spoken and demure. So by playing a warrior, I became more confident in my own physical strength. My inner strength actually came after playing Gabrielle. It came after having the many years of playing one character and then leaving that character and then having to figure out who I am on a very internal platform. So with Gabrielle, it was about physical strength and feeling confident in my own body. Um, the more difficult scenes were the ones when Gabrielle would have to be extremely vulnerable in her heart when something would happen, and I knew from the script that Gabrielle was supposed to cry. I don't have a problem expressing myself or crying if I'm moved by someone, but some of those events they were so highly theatrical that I had to be very open in a very different way in my life. So I had to stay more focused than normal.
Okay.
So sometimes that can be more difficult when you have people on a crew that are chewing gum and talking about coffee and setting lights up, and so it just takes a real technical precision, and that sometimes those are difficult.
And
No, thank you. There was never a contract about not gaining weight, actually, and I have to applaud the production with that because typically on a television show, especially in America, the women are very slim. And our producers, maybe because we were living outside of Los Angeles, they were so accommodating to Lucy and I looking very healthy. We had muscles. I mean, I know I worked out all the time. I was actually a lot more staunch than I am now, and and the producers never judged or commented. They were so incredibly unconditionally loving about Lucy and I being who we are the whole time. And I don't know that I would have gotten that same reaction if I were living in LA filming the show. No. I've
what?
been asked that question before because I know that Xena's the character dies, and I've said this before, but I applaud Rob Tappert for making the very brave decisions that he did with the show. He went against the grain and he made it. He chose to kill off his heroine, and because he was so incredibly passionate and determined to do it with his own vision, you cannot help but be inspired by that. I'm always inspired by people who stick to their own vision, whether I agree or not. You have to admire that. So no, I wouldn't have changed anything about the final show. I'm actually quite proud of it. I honestly, I don't believe that there will be a movie with Lucy and I playing the characters. And not to disappoint anyone, I just don't feel that the window of opportunity was taken advantage of. Not to say that there won't be a Xena movie one day and that Lucy and I will be the bag ladies on the market. It's a joke. Lucy and I be trying to steal the scene. Don't worry. No, it's joking. No, with complete love, Lucy and I, there's no competition. We love Gabrielle and Xena, and we are these characters in many, many ways, and we will always be these characters. But I don't believe that someone else can't play them with their own spin and still take the heart of the characters and do something interesting with them. Not that I want that. Not no, honestly, I don't think that I would. I just think it's a natural course, if that were to happen. I don't even think that would be a question. Honestly, I don't think that there would be a Xena and Gabrielle movie with just me or with just Lucy. If they're going to use one or the other, it would be both of us. I mean, yes. I do believe that.
Yes.
But I just don't see, I don't see in the marketplace they're making a movie with us right now. But that's just coming from a different angle since I produce. I know sort of what the market looks for, but I don't know. It's anyone's game. You never know. You can never really know anything about anything.
That's true.
I feel like my intent is to show people more of who I am so that they can make the leap of seeing me as Gabrielle as a character on television and moved more towards seeing me, Reneé, as a real person, human being who has faults and desires and intents with my career, passions, vulnerabilities, flaws. That's my goal whenever I meet someone, to sort of create a common thread between us. And I'm never frustrated by seeing Gabrielle because I know that that's the reason that someone is interested to begin with. They resonate with Gabrielle, and that's usually where it starts. Oh, it was both. I would never say bad for my career, but I definitely have been. No, that's not true. Some people wonder why I didn't go on to a television show. In the market, the industry, they did see me as Gabrielle. But if I wanted to go to a TV show, I could have fought for it and I could have gone that direction. I wanted to be more curious about what else in my life I could become. And so I was never really drawn straight back to television. So it wasn't bad. I can't say that there's anything bad about playing Gabrielle. It's been an incredible journey. I'm still amazed now that people have been transformed in their lives so incredibly because of not just Gabrielle, but the whole show. It can be pretty intense, and I am very grateful for that. They're very, very different. When I was directing on Xena, I was aware that I was part of a bigger machine that had to stick to a schedule, and in television, that's part of the job. I also knew I had to make compromises along the way to satisfy the production. So although I had an incredible opportunity where I grew so much as a director, I did have the yearning to do my own projects so I could have more creative space to do what I wanted at the time. Would I do more television as a director? I probably would, just to keep doing more opportunities to expand. But whenever you can do your own work, you are your own boss, and the dimension is just so great. It's incredible. Okay. I don't know if that answered the question at all, but...
I see.
So is it one or the other? They're both great, you know. They're both they both have their setbacks. With television, you have an incredible budget to work with. With independent films, you do not. So you have to be more resourceful. With television, you are limited by time, and usually with independent films, you make accommodations so you have more time to get what you want. That's more specific. Oh, interesting. Um, it's funny that I want to say seeds of faith, and I don't know why. I would love to have worked more with Kevin Smith, um, Tim, who played Eli. I would have appreciated the passion that went into that episode. It was our 100th episode, and I remember it being quite special. My character was in it probably more than the production would have liked if I were directing, because it makes it hard to do both. So that would have been interesting, I'm sure. That would have been incredibly challenging. In what way do you mean? Like
naked.
Naked.
Yeah.
Could I play naked? That's what I was wondering. I'm very aware of when and why I would do nudity. It has to resonate with me where I have absolutely no intention of compromising anything for me to play naked in a movie. And it's usually because it's extremely pivotal to the story. I think Lucy is an amazing woman. I can't say enough about her, and her choices are always are very strong. So I applaud Lucy for continually being brave. What's so funny about putting the word intellectualizing awareness together? That actually is the whole crux of the seminar. The way we move in life is that we put ourselves in our head and we comment continually like a radio station on our lives. If you look at awareness, you're changing your whole being into living in your heart and really accessing a capacity to be with people in the moment on a very human level. And my goal with the awareness seminars is to help people, first of all, see the difference in this way of life, and then to feel as passionate as I do about living in that way. Because the more human, the more compassionate you can be as a person, the more our whole world moves better. Will it be in France? It's a consideration. Talk to Michelle.
I love it.